Hello, myself Sundar Ramakrishna. Here basically we are talking about the topic that is currency dependency. In this currency basically dependency, we are talking about the topic that is the cities creation in this. Sorry, the ideas equal to global warming. In global warming, we are discussing about the topic that is the 12th number solution. Basically, 12th number solution is city creation. In this basically we are talking about cyber cell group basically. So one of the topic basically we have already discussed in last basically the 50 crore people died. So who will be responsible? First option basically. One person told that basically these 200 people will be responsible. But 200 people are really not responsible basically. They were trying to get the job but they were not got the job. Like this basically these 200 people mostly will be not responsible. Then one of the person told that basically cyber cell group are responsible or the police department are responsible or the basically the software companies are responsible. One of the person told that yeah basically we will do one thing, we will fire each and every software company, that would be okay basically. Like this basically the 50, then one of the person told that basically this after firing basically this 550 crore people are going to come back basically. Then one of the person told that basically we have sent this 50 crore to the Mars planet na, basically, and many planet basically we have spreaded the people basically who 50 crore people basically died. So the people responsible are basically who basically according to that 50 crore people, the 50 crore planet is going to decide basically their 50 their future basically. That 50 crore people who died basically they only going to responsible, they will be deciding basically. So like this basically points are basically there. So who will be who is responsible for this 50 crore people basically died? 50 crore people has already died basically. Now there is no meaning of finishing cyber cell, finishing police, finishing the entire cities, finishing the entire countries, finishing the doing the third world war. There is no meaning basically. Why? 50 crore is already died basically. So who will be responsible basically? Cyber cell group basically. Or basically the each and every incidents group basically, which has for example one person told that I was basically divorced, and due to that divorce basically that girl's family were basically very powerful. Due to that basically that person basically was not getting job, so that girl's family will be responsible, because 50 crore people is already died here basically. So this incident basically I just taken as an example. One person told that basically are the HR people basically created lots of problem to me, and then basically I basically literally told them basically why you are not going there, and the consultancy people told that basically why you are doing time pass, this type of word basically told to me. I become angry basically. Then they basically blocked my resume basically. So here basically the consultant people will be responsible for 50 crore people which is ended, or basically his god will be responsible, because that for example that recruitment people basically will was believing in some god basically, so that god will be responsible for 50 crore people ended. That type of thing basically happens basically. So here basically we are talking about the responsible person basically, that 50 crore people has already ended. Now there is any meaning basically by giving punishment, by finishing the police department, by finishing the cyber cell department, by finishing the software company doing bomb blast in software company, because time has already passed basically. One of the person told that basically the bomb blast has to happen, supposed to happen long before basically, and somebody has told that also basically, but that has not implemented basically. So is that person basically who actually saw and basically not implemented, he was responsible for the 50 crore people ended. 50 crore people already ended basically. Yeah. The software companies are responsible basically, who actually not given the job to that particular person. Here basically I am taking my example. The software company will be responsible basically, that not got the job basically. Because 50 crore people is already died here basically. Here taking I'm just example basically. In really 50 crore in corona basically 50 crore people has not died basically. 50 crore people has not died basically. So who will be responsible basically? Who are responsible? Tell me. 50 crore people has already died basically. Now who are responsible basically? You tell basically. The cyber cell group basically. who are basically mostly sitting at the home basically. For example, in Vadodara city, 100 apartment basically is having the cyber cell work they are doing from the 100 apartments basically. So that 100 apartment are responsible, or basically the corporate, or basically the MLA is responsible, who is handling that city. He is responsible for this 50 crore. That's very dangerous thing basically, because 50 crore has already ended basically. That's why basically everybody try to solve the problem basically as much they can basically. If they can't basically, then the pass system is there basically. TCS is the best example of passing the system basically. That means they, that group knows that basically in basically future anything basically can happen. They are not fool, right? Basically the TCS basically management are not fool basically, right? That basically literally they creates the 50 team basically, 50 projects team basically, and they passes the problem. If they can't solve, then basically they literally basically they creates new 7 to 8 teams also basically, because they were not able to solve the problem basically. And it might possible that one of the person basically might be from this 200 basically, they might have passed the problem to the TCS also, and then this basically the entire TCS came into picture basically. And TCS entire Tata group affected basically due to that. That might possible basically, anything basically can happen basically, because few people know that basically 50 crore people will die. Due to that basically they taken the action of in against the Tata group basically. Just I am taking just an example, but really basically TCS group are very good basically. They always helps the people basically, because 50% money basically they do the donation basically. But donation people basically who are getting the donation, they might be not helping basically. That's different thing basically. That I'm not talking about. That might be different thing basically. That I'm actually not talking basically. So one of the person told that basically, yeah basically now what to do basically. 50 crore the people the mar gaye basically. Then one of the person told that basically, for example, this 200 people basically are from India. So India is responsible for this 50 crore people basically who died. Then basically the system basically came into picture basically. BJP, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, this all basically came into picture basically. That these people are responsible basically for 50 crore people and who are basically sitting in the parliament house. Then they will say that basically, sorry basically we are not responsible here. We are basically we have given everything to the private people basically. Like this they will say basically. Then like this they will try to save basically themselves basically. Now basically here the thing is, nobody is supposed to take the responsibility. 50 crore people died. Who will be responsible basically? Who is responsible? Here I am taking example basically that due to corona basically 50 crore people died. Taking in real basically 50 crore people has not died basically. Really 50 crore people has not died basically. Taking just an example basically, due to corona disease basically it was spreaded in the environment due to some this 200 problem basically. Due to that 50 crore people died. And in Mumbai basically assume that basically more than 25 lakh people died basically. Just taking as an example basically, in really basically Mumbai 25 crore 25 lakh people will never die basically. Just example basically, because currently I'm in India, so I'm just taking an example of India city, India country basically. India is not city basically, India is country. So who will be responsible? Tell me. That's very the dangerous question basically, because nobody can give the answer basically. Nobody basically can give the answer basically. Reason is, for example, Sunil R. Nair resume basically was passed to the consultant, and few consultant told that basically you are doing time pass basically. And here basically the God will be responsible basically. Whatever God basically they will be believing basically. Then basically God will tell basically, sorry basically we are not handling the money side basically. For that basically the government will be responsible. So like this also basically things are basically there. So here the question is basically the cyber cell groups are responsible, or the Supreme Courts are responsible who created the cyber cell group basically, or the high courts are responsible who created the group basically. So like this basically we are discussing here basically who are responsible for the 50 crore people already died.